Okay guys, so I've been waiting to do this one for a few days now. This is a Greco Les Paul standard. Looks like a tobacco burst from 1977, made in Japan. I'm anxious to get to this one. Ouch. So these strings are old. They look like they've been on here since 1977. Okay, now we can see right here that the tailpiece is here. Now it has one of the studs right here. And then it's got a piece of plastic. Something is missing here. Let me see if this goes down in this side. It does. Okay. Because up here on the tuner is the other bridge post. So let me see if it'll fit down in here, because if it does, then this is just one of those major problems that has been averted. There we go. So it's all good. You know, so since I'm in here, I'm going to put a little dab of 3-in-1 oil. There we go. And I know I switched them around, but they're exactly the same, so there shouldn't be a problem with left or right. And a little 3-in-1 oil on there. There we go. And then we've got the bridge right here, and she's on there pretty tight. But I'm trying to lift that off of there. Here it comes. There we go. ST bridge, made in Japan. So I can shine these parts up a little bit. Yeah, straight out of Japan. Got the little thumb bleeders here. You got these nice pick guard. You know what? I have real Gibson pick guards. And so just to see how close this guitar is to an actual Les Paul. They're different. It's a little bit different, but it could you can manipulate that one to work. Let me see if I have another one. I have a lot of these that were made for Les Pauls. See that one? That one's almost perfect. I think if you were to remove this one and get it out of the way, I'm pretty sure that one would fit on there. So these are super close. I can see that the pickup ring right here is cracked right there. Let's go ahead, since we're looking here. Let's open up the back. Let's see what's underneath there. So just something fun to do. I can spray the pots out. And but I can't recognize any of this Japanese stuff when it's under here. But we can also plug it in and see if she makes noise and do all that kind of stuff, and spray the pots out and get them all nice and clean. Because I imagine there's 30-some years of dust in there. It was really fun getting this guitar. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. There we go. So what are we seeing in here? Let me get a little zoom in action going on. Steel braided wire. Good looking job in there. 504042. It looks like good quality work. I imagine that this guitar sounds really good. I'm just going to spray them out a little bit. Alright, so sprayed this switch out a little bit. This guitar just needs shined up a little bit and new strings. You know what's crazy about it? Here on the side of the frets, just like a real American-made Gibson Les Paul standard. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Pretty sure I'm seeing the fret nubs, right? Pretty small little frets, but that's kind of how they were making them back in the day. They're small and they're flat. This first fret's a lot taller than some of these. They start to get pretty darn flat as you go through here. But I think I see the binding nibs on there, the fret nibs on each one. So yeah, this thing, wow, cool guitar. Okay, so I'm going to try to clean these tuners. And I don't really know how exactly I'm going to do that yet. But I'm going to try some Simple Green on a toothbrush and see what happens there. Kind of working a little bit. Let me try this. Spray some right directly on my rag. Okay, I have another plan. I have a little tiny bit. I have a little tiny bit of some of this Scotch-Brite. Gonna put some Simple Green on that. And let me see what this does. Some guys I know, they're like, you should have took it off the guitar before you started working on that. I always think about what you guys are going to say in the comments. How you could be more professional with all this kind of stuff. Okay. Pretty darn good. Not too shabby. Wow. That really cleaned it. Okay, we're going to spray Simple Green on here. See what happens. I'm going to let that soak for a second. It does not say Gibson on there. It says Greco. Not much of a fan of this tool right here, but kind of seems like it's working. These things are pretty tight already. There we go. The little plastic piece that runs right down here is missing on all 6 of them. It takes a little plastic washer and they break over time. I think that's what's happened there. Alright, so since that Simple Green did pretty good on the headstock. I'm going to go ahead and try to clean some of the body with this stuff. And I'll start on the back. And we'll just see what happens here. If I can get the top layer of, it's got a weird sort of film on it. That's looking pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of Maguire's back here now. You might as well hit the neck a little bit. Now this cover right here, this had the protective film on it, and it's still on there all these years later. So I can't get that off there. Okay. Squeaky clean. So because of that, then I'm going to hit it one more time with a little bit of polish. Yep, so the back's looking good now, but I still have to, you know, hit the sides. It's not looking real good right here. So yeah, I'm going to continue on and hit the sides, and then I'm going to hit the front. Going to clean the frets with some 1000 grit sandpaper. I see some fret wear on the first two frets. The third one looks pretty clean. It's got the nice trapezoid inlays. So we're going to throw a little Music Nomad F1 oil on the fretboard now. And that was way too much. Be a really nice guitar if somebody wanted to do a refret on it. But I think it's still a really good playable guitar. And if you did the refret, you would lose your the nubs that are on the side of each fret in the binding. There we go. One thing that we didn't look at was under the truss rod cover. So let's take a peek at what's going on under there. It's got the bell truss rod cover. It says standard on there. Little tiny screws. Now imagine we're going to see, oh wow, they even have the truss rod adjustment where there's a nut right there. Instead of just having, you know where you stick an Allen wrench in there? And it's the same size my Gibson wrench fits on there. And it seems to be working nice. I'm going to just leave it right there. And since I'm in here, I'll clean a little bit of this out. Polishing compound and stuff that's still in there. If I need to do a truss rod adjustment, then I'll just pull this back off. All right, let's give it a little strum. Here we go.